What's up, everyone? I would say two mostly bald guys, but Adam's not here, so just one. Quick video. I'm gonna do another one later. Okay, so this is Monday currently, but it's early in the morning. We'll get another video later today, so it'll be out tomorrow, Tuesday. But right now, my sister-in-law was complaining that the Saturn was going through a lot of oil. I was like, well, we already replaced the valve cover gaskets and didn't see any other leaks other than that. She had her oil changed at one of those, I don't know, Valvoline or Jiffy Lube or somewhere. And so I got underneath the car and seen it was leaking a lot of oil. Started it up. It was raining out of the old filter housing. So got on there, read some forums, and basically what everybody's saying is either the housing is broke or the bolt that holds the housing on is loose. They're only tightened, I believe, to 35 foot-pounds. And over time, taking the cap off the housing, it makes that bolt back off, and then you start leaking oil behind it. So I was just going to show you guys how to replace that oil filter housing. Be real quick. So, show you real quick. You also want a short extension. I'm using a little bit of a longer ratchet. You don't want to tighten it too tight. 35 foot-pounds isn't hard to do with a ratchet this size. Might be a little bit harder with a normal size ratchet. To get your oil filter cap off, it is a dripping oil 24 millimeter socket on the on that part right there. Yeah, 24. So get your car jacked up in the air. Set it as high as you can. Make sure you get some jack stands under there. We got our handy dandy Braun light. It doesn't pulsate like it's shown in the video, but LED doesn't work right with cameras. I'll put a link in the description below if you like that light. Magnetizes everywhere. So, you can see how much it was leaking. Got a coolant leak as well, but I got to do a radiator on it. There's the housing inside. I can't get up there to show you, but I'll go ahead and take that bolt out, and then I'll show you what the bolt looks like. But yeah, you just loosen that up, take that off, and there's a little gasket that's on the back side. They go bad a lot. Might see if you can locate just a gasket if your housing's not busted. I think this one might be cracked. Somebody's been wrenching on it. They don't come off that way. You're supposed to just remove that bolt on the inside, and they just set up there. So I couldn't find a gasket, so we just got a new housing. Went ahead and got a new one. Here's the new oil filter housing. It doesn't thread on. There's a bolt that goes down through this center hole here. And what everybody was saying in the forums was correct, that if the housing turns, the housing is busted. Well, this one's busted, so it's a good thing we got a new housing. The seal doesn't stick out at all, so that needed to be replaced. I'm going to go ahead and try to find this other piece. Hopefully it's able to be retrieved and get that out of there and put the new housing back on. Oh, and by the way, this is the bolt. It's a 12 millimeter Allen or T60 Torx will work as well. So I've got the new housing. See how you can tell the seal, good seal on it, sticking out a little bit. That way it'll press it down and make good mating surface. Make sure on that new seal that you put some oil on it, which when you took it off, there's going to be oil and crud on the surface. You want to clean that off the block. I've been rubbing it down a little bit, maybe do a little bit more before I put that up there, but take some old oil, get it off your filter or something, and just put some on that right there, on that gasket before you put it back. Then fit this in there. See how it's got this little hole here, this little gap. It'll fit in there one spot. Put that up there, put your bolt back in there, tighten that. I recommend 35 foot-pounds. I don't have a torque wrench that goes that low. I've been doing this a while, so I can basically feel about where it'll be. But if you aren't sure, I recommend getting a torque wrench and torquing it down. I believe I read on there it was 33 to 35 foot-pounds torque, so that's about where you want to be on this bolt right here. So, yep, make sure you get some oil on that. I'm going to do that, tighten it back up, put my cap back on, and get her done. Alright, throwing that up in there. Oh, dumping oil. Make sure you have your oil pan here. Forgot to also mention that little seal that's, oh, looking through the camera here. That little seal that's on the cap. If you're doing an oil filter change, oil and oil filter change, it's going to come with a new one of those seals for the cap. Replace that, and then make sure you put oil on that seal as well so you don't cut it. And then when you're putting this cap on, make sure you hand thread it on and try to thread it in as far as you can. That way you don't cross thread it and break that housing or the cap. Other than that, I must snug this back up and we're all done. Hopefully that video helped you out on replacing the oil filter housing on a 05 Saturn L300. I don't know what all vehicles came with that 3-liter V6, I believe. So I'm sure it's the same on whatever vehicle. I think the View has the same motor, and I'm sure other years do as well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you comment below. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And next to that subscribe button is a bell if you'd like to get notified about all our future videos. Other than that, I'll have another video probably, well, it'll be, today I'll be recording it. It should be up by Tuesday. So we'll see what that video is. Gotta come up with something. I don't know. But see you guys next time.